stop asking for permission. You've been lied to all your life. But worse than that, you've been lying to yourself. Right now, somewhere in the world, there's someone living the exact life you keep telling yourself is impossible. They're earning the respect you beg for. They're walking into rooms with the confidence you wish you had. They're building the business, the empire, the future that you dream about, while you sit scrolling through other people's success at 2 a.m. And then comes that burning question in your chest. When will it be my turn? I used to ask myself that exact question. I used to watch people half as talented as me get double the chances. I used to wonder why I was the one constantly explaining, justifying, and proving myself to people who couldn't recognize talent if it slapped them in the face. I know the rage you feel, that white-hot anger when you realize the game is unfair, that the rules are built to keep you losing. But here's the truth that changed everything for me. The game is not against you. You just never learned the real rules. While you were taught to be polite and wait for your turn, others were learning how power works. While you were busy learning how to be liked, they were studying influence and persuasion. While you were apologizing for existing, they were building unshakable confidence. The reason you're not where you want to be isn't because you're not good enough. It's because you're still asking permission from people who will never give it to you. You're still waiting for others to approve what you already know about yourself. You're still following rules written by people who want you stuck exactly where you are. But imagine this. What if you stopped asking? What if you stopped waiting? What if you stopped playing the victim of other people's fears and instead became the architect of your own rise? Because that's exactly what's about to happen. In the next few minutes, you'll learn 7 psychological principles that separate the people who get everything they want from the people who take whatever they're given. You'll learn why some people command respect without demanding it, why some people attract opportunities without begging, why some live like leaders while others live like followers. This isn't theory. This isn't empty motivation. This is psychological precision. By the end, you won't just think differently. You'll walk differently, talk differently, and carry yourself differently. So first, type this affirmation like you mean it. I'm not asking anymore. I'm choosing. Because after today, asking for permission will feel like betraying yourself. Rule number 1. Your mouth is your enemy. I learned this lesson the hard way at 23 years old. I was in a meeting with people who made more in a month than I made in a year. I was desperate to prove I belonged, so I filled every silence with nervous jokes, useless chatter, and pointless words. I thought being valuable meant talking a lot. I was wrong. The most powerful person in that room said less than 10 words. Yet every time he spoke, people leaned in. When he asked one question, the whole room shifted. His silence carried more weight than my constant talking ever could. That's when I realized every word you speak is free information you're giving away. When you explain too much, you're advertising your weaknesses. When you rush to fill silence, you show that their comfort matters more than your power. Silence makes people uneasy, and that's your advantage. In silence, people start projecting their fears onto you. They assume you're judging them, analyzing them, seeing right through their masks. And the truth is, you are. But when you can't stop talking, you're the one being exposed. You're the one showing your cards, while others stay hidden. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is power. The person who can sit comfortably in silence while others squirm is the person who controls the room. Rule number 2. Your feelings. The hidden currencies of power. Rule number 3. Control information like your life depends on it. For most of my life, I was an open book. I thought honesty meant sharing everything. I told people my dreams, my fears, my struggles, even my next moves. I believed vulnerability was strength. But I was wrong. Every single thing I shared became a weapon. My struggles were used as proof of weakness. My dreams became jokes. My fears were turned into pressure points. I had given people the most valuable currency in the world, information about me, and I gave it away for free. Here's the truth. Power is not about money, connections, or even talent. Power is about information. Who has it? Who needs it? Who controls it? Every conversation is an exchange of information. Either you're gathering it or you're giving it away. Most people don't even realize which one they're doing. The shift happened when I started treating my personal information like a government secret. Not because I had something. Rule number 6. Build power through selective association. Here's a brutal truth. Your environment is programming you. The people you spend the most time with shape how you think, what you believe is possible, and even what you accept for yourself. For years, I surrounded myself with people who were comfortable staying average. They didn't dream big, so they laughed when I did. They didn't take risks, so they called me reckless when I tried. Their fear rubbed off on me. Without realizing it, I was shrinking myself to fit into their small world. One day I asked myself, if I keep sitting at this table, will I ever eat more than what's already on it? The answer was no, so I changed tables. I stopped chasing the approval of people who secretly wanted me to stay small. I started seeking rooms where I was the least impressive person, rooms where growth was the only option. Here's what you learn quickly. Powerful people guard their circle carefully. They don't waste time with energy drainers, complainers, or excuse makers. They know association is infection. You catch the mindset of whoever you're around long enough. If you want to rise, surround yourself with people who challenge you, not people who comfort your laziness. Build a circle where your goals sound normal, not crazy. The wrong circle keeps you stuck. The right circle pulls you forward. Rule number 7. Authority comes from presence, not permission. Most people are waiting for someone to give them a crown before they act like a king. They're waiting for a title, a position, or approval. But authority doesn't come from permission. It comes from presence. I've seen people walk into a room with no fancy title, no high status, and still everyone pays attention. Why? Because authority is not granted. It is projected. Authority comes from the way you carry yourself, the calm confidence in your silence, the discipline of your emotions, the competence of your work, the respect you demand without words. When you combine all the principles, silence, emotional control, information mastery, competence, refusing to explain, choosing powerful associations, you create a presence that people can feel before you even speak. You stop asking to be taken seriously. You start being taken seriously automatically. That's when the shift happens. People stop treating you like an option and start treating you like the standard. They stop waiting for your approval and start competing for it. They stop doubting your worth and start protecting their access to you. The conclusion: stop asking, start choosing. Let's be clear. This is not about arrogance. This is not about playing games. This is about finally seeing the truth. The life you want has always been possible. You just didn't know the rules. You thought noise meant power, but silence is stronger. You thought emotions defined you, but calm control makes you untouchable. You thought honesty meant oversharing, but real power protects information. You thought likability mattered most, but competence makes you irreplaceable. You thought explanations would convince people, but some people are committed to misunderstanding you. You thought environment didn't matter, but it programs you every day. You thought authority was given, but real authority is claimed. Now you know. From this moment on, stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for someone to tell you it's your turn. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't want to understand. Say it again, this time like you mean it. I'm not asking anymore. I'm choosing. Because the second you live by that rule, everything changes. You no longer exist by their rules. You exist by your own. You no longer wait for opportunities. You create them. You no longer hope to be chosen. You choose yourself. That's how the powerless become powerful. That's how the invisible become impossible to ignore. That's how you rise.